This week on LSMN Overtime, football has a bye week, so volleyball is taking center stage. We'll check out highlights from around the district and talk to Flower Mound Volleyball head coach Jamie Siegel. Plus, we decided to ask you about the biggest inter-district rivalries. Hello again, and thanks for joining us on this episode of LSMN Overtime. I'm Tori Stevens. Let's start off with the #1 ranked netters in the state, Flower Mound Lady Jags. Flower Mound faced off against Plano last Friday night. The match was close, with the Lady Jags taking the first set. In the second set, the Wildcats caught up. The set had lots of back and forth with lead changes, until a failed serve at 23-23 pushed Flower Mound into the lead. The Lady Jags took the second set, 25-23. In the final set, the Wildcats led early, but Flower Mound pushed their way back in front, thanks to a combined 16 kills from seniors Brooke McHale and Katie Kempt. The Jags took their final set in the match, 3-0. Over to Lewisville, the Lady Farmers hosted 9th-ranked Marcus. The Lady Marauders were looking for their 10th win in a row. Marcus jumped out to a 10-point lead early, allowing them to easily win the first set. In the second set, the Farmers worked to even the score, led by junior Maya Black's 5 kills. But Marcus grabbed the second set from Lewisville, 25-23. In the third set, the Marauders started off strong, leading by 4 points, but Lewisville fought back, bringing them ahead by 3. Marcus persevered and built momentum as the set went on, earning a 25-18 win and secured their 3-0 win against Lewisville. High schools around the district competed in volleyball games this past Tuesday. Let's take a look at their final scores. Marcus had an away game at Plano West and defeated Plano 3-0. Hebron faced off against Capel at their home campus and fought hard, winning 3-1. Plano East hosted Flower Mound and lost 3-0. Lewisville utilized their home field advantage and defeated Plano 3-0. The Colony remained triumphant against Princeton, winning 3-0. Friday, the Colony went up against Wakeland in the 5A district game. The Colony had a turn to the ball back in Wakeland early in the game, which led to Wakeland's first of many touchdowns. The Cougars put up a tough win against the Wolverines, but it wasn't enough. With Wakeland crushing the Colony with a score of 13-49, Camden Wesley from the Colony scored an 81-yard touchdown, which gave the team some hope, but just not enough. Dallas Morning News recently ranked the top 6A football teams in the area. Some of the categories included offense, passing, rushing, and scoring. 2 LASD teams were well represented in the poll. As of Friday, LHS is in 3rd in the offense category and 4th in rushing. Marcus stands at 2nd place in passing and 4th in scoring. The top players were also ranked, starting with Dallas Dudley, a 6A receiver for Marcus. Dudley is currently placed 2nd and is making his way to be #1 with 482 yards and 2 touchdowns. Next, we have a player from Lewisville, Damian Martinez. He currently stands at 5th place for rushing with 554 yards and 8 touchdowns. Nick Evers from Flower Mound holds 6th place for passing with 66 completed passes, 933 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Expect these numbers to change as we get further into the season. In preparation for the upcoming Mound Showdown and Battle of the Axe, we interviewed students across the district trying to figure out which schools have the biggest rivalry. Bishop Franklin has more on that story.
Rivalries have always been a big part of high school culture. Here are some LHS students on their school's biggest rivalry.
Marcus High School for sure.
Without a doubt, Marcus.
No doubt, Marcus.
Marcus. Definitely Marcus.
Marcus for sure.
After Marcus came into agreement as Lewisville's biggest rival, here's some reasons why.
Well, ever since I've been a part of the Lewisville community for the past 3 years, there's always been beat Marcus, Battle of the Axe, big game. and also the history we had between them, crosstown rivalry.
It's just a tradition, I guess, since I came here.
It's always been beat Marcus, and that's like every game that we're prepped for, like Battle of the Axe, it's always like, yeah, beat Marcus.
We just have a long, years worth of history with them. We have the most student body attendance from both schools and teachers and parents as well.
Marcus High School.
Marcus High School.
Definitely Marcus.
The fact that we both are in the same town is probably where it stems from. And then just both schools have a lot of competitive kids.
Rivalries fuel competitive nature in all sports. They give teams the courage to work harder and achieve that victory. For LSMN Overtime, I'm Bishop Franklin.
Defending state champion Hebron Lady Hawks golf team saw their first action of the season at the Heart of Texas Interventional Tournament. The tournament totaled 54 holes over the 2 days. Hebron won the meet by 4 strokes. This week on Coach's Corner, we're talking Flower Mound Volleyball. Here's Brody Lewis with our guest.
Coach, thank you for being with us.
Of course. I'm excited to do this.
All right, so let's get started. Losing in the semifinals last year was obviously hard for you guys. How big of an effect does that have on this season?
I think we go into a match no matter who's on the other side of the net with a chip on our shoulders now. Our goal, of course, every year is to make it to state and win state. And we feel that we fell short last year. So it's been a big motivator for us going into this season, and all the young ladies are stepping up and working hard for every single point.
And next, what are your expectations for this season?
I mean, again, this season is just to grow not only volleyball players, but to grow young, strong female leaders, and for them to actually really and truly believe in themselves and walk with confidence on and off the court. Volleyball-wise, of course, wins are great. That's just kind of like a bonus because you want to make sure that they're good citizens and community leaders as well. But the overall goal of the program, of course, is to make it to state and win state. And if it happens, I mean, that'd be awesome.
Awesome. And you were recently ranked #1 in 6A volleyball. How much of an encouragement is that to you and your players?
I personally don't like paying attention to rankings. The young ladies, I mean, it gives them a little boost of confidence for sure. And we always preach it doesn't matter where we are in the rankings, it matters where we finish. So our goal and our vision is set on the end line.
Awesome. And with the Mount Showdown coming up this Friday, how are you prepping your players for this game?
We prepare for each team and every match just like we always would with whoever's on the other side of the court. We'll have a different game plan, we'll have a different approach to it, but in the end, it's still a match, and a match is a match.
Right. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Coach, thank you for joining us.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Of course.
This week's spotlight is on Maggie Boyd, an outside hitter for Marcus Volleyball. Boyd, a senior captain, has led the Lady Marauders to an impressive 10-match winning streak. This has also given her some great stat lines with more than 30 kills and 30 digs over the last 3 matches. The UCLA commit also earns her 1,000th kill last Saturday. With part 1 of the Mound Showdown this Friday, it'll be fun to see how Maggie Boyd and the Lady Marauders match up with the top-ranked Flower Mound Lady Jags. You can catch the LSMN broadcast of the game right here on our YouTube channel, beginning at 6:30. For LSMN Overtime, I'm Brendan Selke.
Thanks, Brendan. That's all the sports news for this episode. Join us next time for more information on what's happening with sports around the district. Don't forget to check out the LSMN broadcast this Friday, September 24th. Broadcasting live from the Marcus versus Flower Mound volleyball game. Watch it here on LASD AV Productions. I'm Tori Stevens, and thanks for watching LSMN Overtime.